Welcome to the Unleash Your Power podcast. I'm your host, Anastasia Jones, creativity mentor, author, and limiting belief gladiator. My purpose is to help you transcend fear, take bold, aligned action, and co-create the life and business of your wildest dreams. The world needs your art now more than ever. And if you're ready to embody the creative force within you, then you're in the right place. Now is the time to make your mark. Now is the time to unleash your power. Welcome back to the Unleash Your Power podcast. I'm so honored, so happy that you're here. Back for another episode. It honestly is still surreal to me that I have a freaking podcast. Like every time I go to record something, I'm like, is this my life? Yeah. And I just want to give a huge shout out to every single person who has ever listened to an episode. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. You have no idea how much your support of my dream means to me. So I will continue to serve up content every single week and invite incredible guests and have powerful conversations with other creatives. My whole goal being to help you transcend fear, take bold, aligned action in your life, and co-create the life and business of your wildest dreams. And so today, I get to introduce you to somebody who has helped me do all of those things, has helped me in my journey. Like truly her guidance has been a pivotal, just part of my story, part of my journey. So Tierra Wilson is a full-time entrepreneur and business coach. She is the co-founder of Lovely Impact, which is the one-stop shop for all of your coaching business resources needs for women coaches, and the founder of AI Content Architects, which is a startup that's revamping the future of content creation for small businesses. She is a recognized digital business consultant, content expert, and advisory board member for Google Small Business and GoDaddy. So freaking cool. Tierra has a personal mission of helping women entrepreneurs compete, grow, and succeed and leave legacies through technology. So you are in for a great episode. We're going to talk about weaving the personal back into your professional, back into business. She talks about the importance of niching down and why we all need to do it. She talked about selling and exactly how she and her business partner price and sell their offers. This is going to give so much clarity to anybody who's listening, who has kind of trouble determining what to charge for their services. She talks about sales quite a bit. And then one of my favorite topics in our conversation, artificial intelligence. She goes in on AI and the future of content creation and what AI can look like for storytellers and copywriters. So if you're listening to everything going on in the news in the world around AI and you're kind of nervous, like, what does this mean for my job as a writer? She is going to give you all the info and hopefully put you at ease just a little bit. We talk about search engine optimization and the compound effect and running your business aligned with your human design. We talk about movement and the power of movement in building a business. So I don't want to give too much away. I'm telling you, you'll want to save this episode. The gems, the gems. Okay. All right. Let's just jump in. I can introduce you to T. Everyone, I have a really, really, really exciting guest here with me today. Tierra Wilson. We love her. We call her T. T, hi.
Hi, Stasia. How are you?
I'm so good. I've been looking forward to this conversation for so long. A little bit of history, you all. T was my business coach in the year of our Lord 2020.
Lord have mercy.
Lord have mercy. And I mean, it was such a powerful experience for me because you were my very first business coach and we worked together long term.
I feel like it's pretty long.
at least a year. Excuse me. This is unfiltered, people. I'm not editing that out. And experienced so much business growth during my time working with you. And for those of you that don't know, you just need to look her up, first of all. Go on LinkedIn, search for Tierra Wilson. She is a Black queen. And the reason it was so powerful and formative for me working with you is because it was the first time I really wanted to work with someone that understood what it's like to be a Black female entrepreneur and to be successful. And you modeled that for me, and you still do. You never cease to. You are truly a queen.
Thank you. And it was easy because you were ready. Like you actually did all the work. So you made it super simple. But yes, being a Black female entrepreneur and a Black female influencer,
That's it.
Yeah.
It's a whole different world. It's like there are so many other things you have to consider. And so now you have multiple companies, and one of them is Lovely Impact. And this is a space where you support literally thousands of coaches along their business journey, tens of thousands of coaches. Let's just call it what it is. You guys, I have so many things I need to ask T about. And so we're just going to start with business. Okay. We're going to start with business. My podcast has a lot of creative listeners, creative entrepreneurs, artists, people that, are running online businesses and creating. So I would love to know, what are some of the obstacles in terms of starting a business and scaling a business that you've seen over and over again with the clients that you work with the coaches you work with?
Yeah, one of the big things, we mostly work with women in business, right? Mm-hmm. And one of the big things is that everyone says, business isn't personal, right? But for women, it is so personal.
God, it's personal.
It's so personal. There's just no way around it. So with coaches, one of the reasons we focus on them, they're so heart-centered. They just want to help. So trying to take the personal out of business is probably one of the biggest parts where we find is the struggle for getting started up, right? Because you try to separate and you try to focus only on the money when, let's be honest, work-life balance, integration, it's when you own your own business, you're an entrepreneur, it's a part of your every single day of your life. Like it's a part, you have to figure that out. So I think that's probably one of the biggest things. And then the second thing probably is just being afraid to niche down and really focus. That's a hard one for everyone. It's scary, right? You're purposely putting yourself in a box. And if you're creative, right, it's like, you don't want to do that. You want to do all the things.
Right.
But then a year or 2 or 3 passes and you're not making the income that you really want to make. And that's because you can't market to everyone. And that's probably the second big thing.
Wow. Okay. So taking the personal out of business and niching down.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. If we could focus on 2 things as new coaches, that would be the 2 things.
Yes. Bring the personal back.
Yeah. Bring the personal back, you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Bring it back into your business.
Oh, okay. Explain that again for us.
Right. So women have always been told, it's business, it's not personal. Right. Mm-hmm. And then we try to run our business that way, like a man, almost like a guy, like we try to detach from it. It just does not work, especially if you're a coach, because most likely you're coaching because you've been through it as well. Most likely as a woman, you started a business because of your life, it was a challenge for you. You want to nurture, you want to help. And so trying to separate business and personal tends to be a disaster for women entrepreneurs. So learning how to integrate that personal back in your personal life and bringing it together, we've seen a lot more success income-wise, work-life balance-wise. Like most successful coaches, they've learned to integrate their business with their life and bring the personal back into it.
That's so beautiful. I love how you just framed that, because I have heard a very similar narrative, which is like, business is business. Like you approach it like a blonde-haired, blue-eyed white man, and that's how you succeed. But it really is like, especially even the energetics of business, like not everybody flows like that. And especially what you're saying, your niche being women coaches. And that being a pattern, I totally see it. I can even say that's something that I've navigated through on and off for years. Um, so that's really, really beautiful. And I would love to talk about sales too. Like, where in the conversations you're having with coaches, does sales come up? And like, what are some of the insecurities around selling for women?
That's a big one. So
That's
we're actually trying to figure out how to put a product together to help people with this because it's so hard for women to sell. Like it seems to be that main block where they think that you can just build a website or post on social media and like leads are going to come, and it just
poof.
does not, it doesn't work that way, right? And then when people start getting leads, they think they're going to automatically turn to clients, and it doesn't work that
Right.
way either. So
Mm,
sales is it's a creative art. That's what I call it, to kind of take the fear away from it. It's a creative art.
it's a
So
creative art.
it is. That's what it is. Most coaches come to us, and one of the biggest struggle they have around sales is not knowing how to sell, right?
Mm.
And then following these rigid scripts,
Oh, mm-hmm.
reading it like
Yep.
um, following this rigid flow of sales, like they're a product or like it's a tech company and they're trying to force that into coaching. And honestly, sales is just coaching. That's all it is.
That's so powerful.
So if you're a health coach, for example, that first sales call that you have with someone, you give them the best coaching session that you've ever given,
Mm,
right? Don't treat them differently than a client, right? You give them the best coaching session ever. And then at the end of that, you ease into sales. And if you've done your job good enough, they're going to ask you before you even get to the pitch, right? Well, how can I work with you? Or can you tell me more about your program, or what options do I have? So kind of getting coaches out of like that businessy, salesy mode and more
yeah.
into that heart-centered,
Mm.
nurturing coach space and bringing that into sales as well. And we've seen it work in our business, like it's exploded recently when we're really focused on it. And we've seen our clients, like their sales just skyrocket when they stop trying to like follow those scripts.
This is so beautiful. And it just is, your company is so aptly named Lovely Impact. You're like
Yes.
bringing the love, bringing the care, bringing the personal and the human back into coaching, which, like you said, is deeply personal, especially for women. Um, I love that. I also am curious to know with sales pricing, what do
Mm.
you think the hang up is around determining pricing, or maybe even some advice for somebody that is so confused about how to price their offers, where to start, if it's too much, if it's not enough. You've heard it all.
Yes, we have two strategies actually. So the first one we call lifestyle-based pricing, and it's my favorite. So Cass has, my business partner Cass has a different one. I'll go through hers as well, but mine is lifestyle-based pricing. So I teach coaches or entrepreneurs to sit down and you ask yourself, what would it cost to live my dream life? And I
Mm,
mean everything. So you go down like how much you pay in mortgage or rent. What kind of car do you want? What would that car note be? Like the dream life, like when you feel like you're successful in your business. Um, do you want a housekeeper? Do you want to travel once or twice every quarter? And get that number. And then we take that number and we ask ourselves, how much do you charge per person? How many people can you
mm.
handle each month? And how much would you charge to get that monthly cost? And that's how you price your services. Now, that's the lovely and beautiful and fun way to price, right? That's the
I
goal. So
love
then
that.
you're
This is
like,
Dream Life
right,
Now
dream
pricing.
life. Yes.
Yes.
So that's like one strategy that you can take pricing and just go ahead and get it over with. And it makes you really be honest, and it also gives you clarity and you realize I'm way underpriced, which
Mm,
is mostly 90% of people are way underpriced. And it helps you realize that like there's no way I'm going to live the life I want to live if I'm charging people these low prices.
that's
So
so
it's also a
beautiful.
clarity exercise too.
Yeah.
And then the other way to do it is the more technical side, of course, which is Cass's favorite way, where you're breaking down like business taxes and going through like how much it's going to cost to run your business and doing that market research. Like if you're a business coach, you would charge way more than a fitness coach, for example. If your service is causing people to make more money, you charge way more for
Make
that type of
money.
coaching.
Mm.
So kind of their strategy and industry stuff as well that you can go through.
I love Both of those. The first one really appeals to me because there is something, like you said, the clarity. I think we overcomplicate it. And
Hmm.
this is why I love them both. It's because it doesn't, it simplifies it. And it's
Yes.
less about, okay, what do I feel? Oh, is that too much? I don't know how much they earn. Is this too much for them? And it's more like this just is what it is. This just
Hmm.
is industry standard. This is just what it costs to run my business, or this is the life I want to live. This is
Yes.
what I can have. This is what I want. So this is what we charge. I love that. And that's something you can do in like no time at all. You can do that in a day.
Yeah, you sit down a day and it's a fun like
Yeah.
exercise, a manifestation exercise too, because you have to really
Yes.
dig deep and kind of pull all that stuff out. So yeah, it's a really fun exercise. It's like the fun way to do pricing, and it's the easiest way to do it. And it simplifies it because then you're like, okay, I just need 4 clients this month that pay this much.
Let's
So
get
now
them.
your marketing's fixed.
Yeah.
I just
Yeah.
need 4 people, right? And
Yes.
this is how many, calls or blogs or social media or emails I have to send because this many people come in because of that. And then I'll close like 5, 10% of them. And now I have a formula, like I know exactly
Yes.
what I need to do every single month.
This is beautiful. You just brought up content, and I think this is the perfect segue to talk about AI and the future of content creation, because one of your businesses is AI content creation. So can you tell
Yes.
us more about your business and then like more about AI? This is still, I know it's been a conversation for a long time, but I'm here now, and I'm late, but I'm here. So give us a
So
rundown.
we started playing around with AI before the second business is in the middle of launching. So it's not 100% like ready to accept clients yet, but it's in that phase. Like we've launched the website and stuff. But in Lovely Impact, like we started playing around with AI probably in 2021 because it was just me and Cass. We didn't have staff. And so we were trying to like build this huge business, and it was just two of us in startup mode. And so we started playing around with AI, right? And it was so clunky. Like it was a hot mess.
Really,
So
two
we're
years
going
ago.
in. Yes, it was really bad. Like you'll go in, there's so many things you have to fill in to get an AI to write a paragraph. And as a marketing person, it made no sense whatsoever. So then I have to go back through and edit it. And it was like, you know what? I might as well have just written it myself. So that was in 2021, but I kept at it. Like I knew that it was getting better and better. And then Chat GPT came out, and
Hello.
it changed literally the world. It's insane. So when people ask me about AI right now, I tell them it's like when the internet showed up suddenly, like, and it changed our lives, right?
Yeah.
It's like when COVID happened. It's like the Industrial Revolution. Where we are right now is that turning point. We will
Wow.
never be the same past this point. So AI has never been this advanced ever. It's shocking, actually, how advanced it is at this point.
Give us an
Um,
example.
so, like for us in our business right now, like I don't write any of my own social media posts anymore. That's not written by me at all. We don't write any of our blogs anymore. That's not written by me anymore at all. We don't write any of our landing page copy, any of our emails, anything that you've been seeing for the past year has not been written by a human
What?
at all.
Oh
And
my
so
gosh.
it went from like really clunky text to actual tone and voice, and you train it and it just talks exactly like you. People cannot tell the difference anymore. And I don't even have to edit it. That's the big thing. Like I don't have to edit at all. I literally am at the point where I just copy paste and it's done. That's how advanced AI is. So the good thing about that for us is that our business was able to grow because we got to get rid of some contractors that were maybe just writing and that's it, and invest in people like you, for example, that really copy strategy,
Yes.
that really needed to like talk to the client and really get the ideas and really write to that level. We were able to hire designers and able to hire like project managers, like people to help us really grow our business. versus being stuck with all the other contractors that were like just doing that grit work.
Yes.
It replaced a lot of the grit work and allowed us to hire experts, which has really exploded our business.
I love this. And if you're listening to this and you are also a writer, a copywriter, do anything written, what you said is so powerful and so profound. There is still space
Oh
for
yeah.
writers and creatives. Talk a little bit more about that, because I can already feel people listening and being like, am I out of a
Scared.
job? I have a lot of copywriters that listen. So yeah, put us at ease.
Um, well, first off, most business owners, where we're at right now in this stage is like when TikTok first came out. And honestly, most business owners will never touch AI, right?
Yeah,
So
that's
if
really
you're a
cool.
service provider or creative, most of them will never touch it. They'll, we still have our parents that are stuck on, they can't even figure out how to send an emoji still, right?
Yeah.
So there's business owners that will never touch AI. So as a service provider, a creative, a writer, you should be using AI
Yeah.
because it's not the prompting of it is an art, right? And only a writer could really prompt AI correctly to get the
That's
output that it
good.
needs to get, right? Also, it's great for letting you focus on your creative genius as a writer versus the outlining, right? And the icky stuff that you have to do, the editing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Going back through. So, like, just for us, for example, for our products, we still write those, but we can go into AI and actually get to do the research and outline our entire product with prompts of what we should do. Then we can take that, write it, and then dump it back and it edits it, right? So, there's still that space. It allows you to be even more creative, right? So,
Mm-hmm.
of course, there's going to be a lot of fear behind it, and a lot of people will probably have to transition their up level their jobs or really focus on the creative side of writing, the expert side of writing, learning how to prompt AI, like
Yeah.
that sort of stuff. But if you embrace it instead of being afraid of it, I think you'll be ahead of the game.
I'm so excited for this, especially with the work you've done with SEO and
Mhm.
really playing the long game with your business. I actually would love for you to talk about your like playing the long game, because this is something you and Cass do really, really well. And I remember in 2020 when you were telling me when you started offering coaching for women and men. I think at that point you even coached some men.
Mhm.
Um, and you did it and you were coming up with content ideas for your business. And so can you tell us a little bit more about what playing the long game looked like for you both at Lovely Impact?
Yeah. So Cass and I were competitors before we launched our business, and
Well,
we own
first of all, I
our own
love
agency.
that.
Yeah.
I love that so much.
So we've been in this game a long time, y'all. Like, and we've seen what happens with those short wins. They seem great at first, but if you're in it for the long haul, 2 or 3 years later, every platform changes, everything goes different. So I tell people all the time, when you start marketing, you should expect a year plus to see real results.
I love that.
And what happens is that we're so addicted to instant gratification because of the way social media is. So as business owners, what happens is like if it doesn't work in a month or 2 months, we give up, right? And that's the problem. It is the long game. If you knew how algorithms work, if you knew how Google works, because SEOs are a big thing, right? If you
Mm-hmm.
knew that it takes Google 6 months, right, to trust your website, to start ranking you higher. And on top of that, you have to see how much traffic you have coming in, how many people are clicking, the data that it takes for the algorithm to start ranking you. If you knew how long it took, why would you give up at month one, right?
Right.
So for the strategies that we chose, we wanted the ones that would snowball within a year or two because we wanted to grow slowly and we wanted to grow a team. And we did want to be a multi-million dollar business. And so to do that, we were invested in slow growth. Also, we're introverts, so we couldn't have social media be the main source of our income,
Yeah.
right? We wanted to actually have lives and have work-life balance. And so to do that, we had to kind of lean on more of those slow growing kind of focuses like content, blogging, um, long form content and video, growing an email list, like that, those things that take a long time. So we focused on those. and it definitely paid off. It just
I
takes time. So when it snowballs, it snowballs.
Did it all hit at once, would you say? Or really was it like, because the compound effect is real. You might not see
Mhm.
something for a few months and then month 4, you're like, oh, pop off, or month 10 or 12, pop off. So when did you start, when did you start your company? And then when did you start seeing it working, like the SEO and the,
We started February 2020, and we started the SEO setup that year, probably a month or two after that. And then we probably saw results. It took 11, I always tell people 11 months. Now, mind you, we did get a client here and there, right? So there was money coming in, not a lot, but it was money coming in. And Cass and I were both part-time in the business. So it took us 12 months and we were both full-time in the business. So now we're full-time in it. And when we say snowball, it's like we weren't getting any leads. And now the only thing I do is sales calls from leads that automatically come in.
wow,
I don't have to
you
go
don't
and
find
get,
anyone ever. They
my
come to you.
calendar's just full every week. I don't think about it. So that's how, like, but it just snowballed. At first, it was like, I'm sending cold emails. I'm on social media
That's
constantly.
it.
I'm doing Facebook ads because I'm trying to wait for the slow growth stuff to kick off.
Right.
But once that kicked off, we X'd everything. We don't do social media anymore. We don't do ads anymore. None of that. It's completely organic.
Email list, website,
Yep.
organic, Pinterest.
Pinterest.
Wow.
And then for me personally, I'm obsessed with LinkedIn right now.
Yeah, you do. You're
So
LinkedIn queen.
I do LinkedIn. Yeah.
And then Cass does Instagram.
She's starting to getting into TikTok and Reels and playing with it
Yeah.
right now.
Such
But
great advice.
it's just for fun now, right?
Yeah.
Our business, like we're not desperate for TikToks every, like we're not,
Yes.
because we can play around and have fun with stuff that like just piques our interest. And if it works, we hire and someone has to keep it going. So that's been a struggle as well, right? So the one hard part of that long-term strategy is once it does start working, you got to keep it working, right?
Mm,
And so we had to hire people to keep what's working going so
yeah.
we could start doing other stuff in our business. So that's something that we've been working on.
You mentioned both of you being introverts, and I think this is so powerful because, first of all, there is a common misconception that you have to be this, magnanimous, dynamic, personality type to grow a business, to be in front of people. And what I love about both of you and your dynamic is that you truly play to each other's strengths. Like
Yeah.
so tell us more about that. And also, you're the first person to introduce me to human design. I remember in a
Really?
session, you said, pause. I'll never forget it. I was looking at your face and you said, hold up. What's your human design? I said, I have no idea what you're talking about. And you said, we're stopping everything right now. Typing, fill this out. I got my little birth certificate out. I'm like looking at my birth time. And when it said that I was a reflector, because I had no idea what I was reading, I sent it to you immediately. And I just remember you going,
Rare.
this makes so much sense. That's
Yeah.
all I remember you saying to me. Yeah, that makes sense. So first of all, thank you, because I'm obsessed with it now and I'm certified in it.
Oh, congratulations.
Thanks. It's been 2 years of just deep diving, all the things. And so more to learn, but loving it. So both of you use human design as well to play to your strengths in your business. Can you talk to me more about that and how that experience has been?
Yeah, so our business coach is our human design experts, the one that we deal with monthly. We did the human design on our own business. Our business is actually a reflector. So
Stop.
you look at your LLC paperwork. All right.
I resonate.
You look at your LLC paperwork and give it to the HD person, and they're like, your business is a reflector. Very interesting. I personally am rare. I'm a generator and I'm an ambivert. So I am extroverted and introverted. I just switch back and forth. And then Cass is a manifesting generator and she is an introvert. So knowing all of that has helped us so much in our business with our personalities. And you can just tell, like, for example, she's a manifesting generator. She should have been dealing with the money. Because I did sales, I was naturally kind of dealing with the money. Now we switch that back and put everyone in the right seat based on our profiles. Everything's just been so much better. So now she handles the
Wow.
money as a manifesting generator. She has the money line. So she can
She has the
manifest.
channel.
She has the channel.
Wow. That
She
is
has it. Like she has
amazing.
it. And it's so funny because I can sell anything, but she can literally sit there and say, well, how many people do we need? I'm like, I need 30 leads. And she's like, okay, fine. And she'll put that energy into it and she'll look at the numbers and she'll blah, blah. And they will come, like they will show up.
This is amazing.
And when she decides, I don't want to do something, I swear the sales will just stop at that product. And I was like, so we've used that to like pick every marketing strategy, making decisions in our business, and so that we don't get burnt out because we're
Yeah.
generators, which means that we will not stop. So yeah.
And it has to light you up, right? That's one of
Yes.
everything has to light you up. So the moment Kaz's like, I'm not feeling it. It's like, or you're like, I'm not feeling it. Do
Mhm.
you notice that it's very much you both are on the same page? Like it's not lighting you up, then let's pivot.
Not only if it doesn't light me up, I cannot do it. Like that's the worst part of it. And so if I have this strategy that I built that works and brings in money and I hate it, I literally physically, I cannot if it's miserable or if I feel frustration. So we have to hire. And that's something else we've learned. Like I've passed off like certain things now that I know work because I know I'm never going to do it. Like I'm just
Yeah.
not.
Yeah.
So learning that has definitely been, we burn out. So I'm great at sales and marketing strategy. And now that's the only thing I do in my business. Cass is great at product creation and working with the design team. And that's
Yes.
all she does.
Wow.
And everything else we've hired out. So, and we've got our last few hires coming up this month. Yeah.
Team's growing.
Yeah.
It's happening right now.
Mm-hmm.
All of it. This is so exciting. I want to go back into the work-life balance situation because let's just say there's a creative listening right now and they are burning the midnight oil, like literally burning the candle at both ends, in the middle of the grind and the hustle. Like, what is something that you would say to that person?
I've been there. So as a generator, I spent years actually. I would wake up, sit down on my computer, work all day, and then literally get up, take a shower, and go to bed and try to deal with like kids. Like it was for years. I'm like a workhorse, like it's ridiculous. And my health suffered. And honestly, even though I was making nice money, it was capped, right? And then I found myself like even on vacation, still with my laptop and I wasn't present, I wasn't aware, and you can't even enjoy it like at all. So work-life balance has been a really big thing for me, which I don't even believe in work-life balance. It's more like work-life integration.
Ooh, wait, talk to us about
So
that.
that's what it's really about. If you're
Yeah.
a creative, especially if you're a millennial and you're a creative and you work from home, um,
Me.
mhm. Integrating your work into your life is a lot better than trying to do work-life balance. So just to give you an example, when I do sales calls, I do them on the phone only. So you can't see my face unless you pay me, right? So I'm not stuck at my computer.
That's good.
And so if I'm doing 7 sales calls a day, let's say for Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and I have that blocked on my calendar, Monday through Friday, I do not talk to anyone. I can't do it. I just got those 3 days, right? While I'm doing sales calls, I am power walking if I need to. I could be meal prepping in between pressing mute and prepping. Like I'm trying to like integrate it into my life to where I'm still having like work-life balance.
I love that.
Having set hours, for example, I go on a 2-hour walk every morning. People think I'm insane.
I'm so glad that you mentioned that, and I'm gonna let you finish. But I also need you to talk to us about the power of movement.
Yes.
The power of movement. But anyway, please continue.
It's better. Like I wake up and I do my 2-hour walk and it's a beautiful area. Like it has to be gorgeous. On TikTok, they call it the hot girl walk, which I don't
It's
know
a
why they
hot
call it
girl
that. It's a hot girl walk.
walk. It's
I'm like your little cute workout clothes.
Maybe a lip.
You know what I'm saying? And then you take a little walk through a nice area.
Yeah, please. It's a hot girl walk. You gotta be in a nice area.
Gotta be a nice area. So I was sending the team some pictures today. I'll send it to you too, but it's like a 2-hour walk. You get 11K steps and you're done. I'm lazy, by the way. I want everyone to know this. I am so lazy.
Buy it. I don't buy it. You just told me you walk 11,000 steps before 8 a.m. or whatever time before you start your day.
Yeah. Wow. This is why I do stuff. I hack my life because I'm lazy. I think that's my superpower. I swear, I know it sounds insane, but I think my superpower is that I am lazy. And that helps me like set up automations in my business, in my life, because I don't want to touch it.
I don't want to do it.
So I don't want to be in the gym like constantly or like trying to get walks in. So for me, like I figured it out. Like I'm like, you walk in the morning, not in a circle, because I'll go back in my car and go home.
Yes, yeah.
So I leave. If I turn around, I'm screwed. Like I have to walk so far to get back.
I can't. This is the realest conversation.
I've literally hacked it. So now I get the 10K steps in every single morning.
You know exactly where to walk.
Exactly where to walk. I cannot turn around.
And if I turn around, if I look back, I'll turn to salt.
Right. I'll be like at 20K. Like I walked so far at this point. So I have to finish it.
So amazing.
So I just hack your life and make it enjoyable. Make it fun.
Yes.
Yeah.
What do you do on these 2-hour walks? Please tell me it's not silent.
No, it's not silent. So I'll do podcast. I'll do research. Like if I'm working on a new project or there's this SEO YouTube channel that really has helped us like grow our business. So I'll like listen to affiliate marketing stuff because that's something we're focusing on. Listen to AI podcasts, whatever is like we're trying to grow or develop. I'll listen to that. And then personal stuff too. I'll listen to like health podcast or beauty or, stuff like that. So I'm listening to something as I'm walking and sometimes an audiobook. It depends. Yeah.
Nice. So you keep it spicy. You keep it dynamic there.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. 2 hours, y'all. That's amazing. I'm still wrapping my mind around that. Okay. So what are some of the benefits of movement? Like, what are some of the benefits you've noticed, like mentally, physically, emotionally?
Mentally, I work a lot better now. So I'm finding you're more productive because you've moved, you've gotten nature, you've gotten sun, you've gotten your vitamin D. You've done all that stuff. You've moved around, you're moving around on sales calls or whatever your calls or however you want to set everything up. And I just find that I'm a lot more productive and motivated is the big thing. So I'm excited about work. And when I sit down, I'm actually getting my to-do list done versus like dragging it out and trying to figure things out. I find that I don't procrastinate when I move. Like I'm really focused on it. I just like little things. I find that I could actually, my endorphins are so high from that 2-hour walk. I actually eat a healthy breakfast and actually like go in the kitchen and put it on a cute plate. Like I actually, I want to do it, So I find that it does that. And it also, just to get it all out the way, the rest of my day, I don't have to worry about moving. Yeah. Of course, I still get up and do my calls and stuff, but I don't have to stress that I didn't get sun or steps and I can enjoy the rest of my evening as well.
Yeah, that is definitely a stressor when it's the end of the day and you're like, it's 6:30 p.m. I've literally been inside all day. I haven't even smelled fresh air and I have to like move my body. Definitely been there. I'm there often. Mm-hmm. So you're really speaking to me.
It does. And then weight loss. Like if you're staying healthy, maintaining your weight or weight loss, it's just automatic. Like you don't have to worry about it anymore. Like you will be 10K a day, 10,000 steps a day. You will not have to worry about start maintaining weight anymore. So it's another stress that's just completely off your mind as well.
I love that. So that is, for everyone listening, work-life integration. Like that's an incredible way, a practical way that you can start doing that right now. You're on your walks, you're listening to content that is getting you excited and teaching you things and like, new strategies that you can try in your business and all these things. Then you get to your desk and you're more clear-headed. You're fueled up on good food. You are just in a better place to actually get stuff done and be productive. You automate when you need to automate, which is as much as possible, as T would say. And,
yes.
And you're good.
You're good to go.
Oh, T, thank you so much. I honestly, you should see this list of questions that I have for you and topics. We hit them all.
Oh, yay.
We hit them all.
Awesome.
So would you leave us with a word of wisdom, just something that's like maybe intuitively on your heart? It could be anything. It could come out of left field. It could be whatever, but just one word of wisdom, advice that you'd give us.
We have to work the society that we live in, right? We have to work our entire lives almost, right?
Yeah.
We always have to do something, and it shouldn't be hard. That's something that I'm learning and that I would love to share with everyone. You can create a business that fills you up just as much as rest does, just as much as a vacation does. And just strategically, who you work with, who you hire, they bring joy to your life. The work that you're doing is only the work that you want to do, and you hire out anything that you don't love to do. You take time off, you schedule your day correctly. Your business and making money, your career, if you have a job, it can be just as fulfilling as taking a vacation. And I think that's something that we've really put the top of our list this year. Like, does this make me happy? Or are we excited every day? Is this wonderful? And if any of those questions are off or it's a no, we drop it. It's okay. Just let it go.
You heard it from the Queen's mouth. Queen T, thank you so much for today. You can connect more with Tierra Wilson and the Lovely Impact team by visiting www.lovelyimpact.com. You can also connect with Tierra Wilson on LinkedIn by visiting the links in the show notes. Thank you all for joining for another amazing episode of the Unleash Your Power podcast, and I'll see you next week. Hey friend, thanks for listening. I'm so happy you're here. If this episode helped you in any way, please take a screenshot, share it with a friend, post it to social media, and better yet, why don't you leave me a review on Apple Podcasts or wherever you're listening from? My desire is to activate as many creatives as possible. And if you are looking for additional support on your creative journey, you can always connect with me on Instagram at AnastasiaRJD. Or visit the links in the show notes. We've got free resources to reignite your creativity and soul-centered ways that we can continue to work together. I'll see you again next week. Same time, same place.